Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. We are back working on the cheap BMW E90 3 Series project again today, and we're going to be giving the car a deep clean. Now, I don't really know how far I'm going to be going with this. The car is in pretty good condition as it is, you know, the exterior and the interior. I know the engine bay needs a hell of a lot of work because that looks like it's never been cleaned before and it's absolutely filthy. So yeah, that would definitely need some attention. But yeah, I guess we should just get outside and let's get cracking.
Okay then, so here we are. Thought it would be a good idea just to kind of show you the condition of the car as it is. So I haven't done anything to the car since I bought it, but like I said, the exterior is in pretty good condition. It is literally just covered with a layer of dust. I believe the previous owner did give it a good wash before they sold it. And if we look at the interior, we can see that, yeah, similar sort of story in here as well, especially in the rear. These rear seats look like they've never ever been sat in before, so I don't think I'll need to do a hell of a lot in the interior. Similar sort of story in the front as well. Usually what I like to do when I get a new car is completely take out all of the interior, so just remove the seat, to center console and all the rest of it, but I don't think it's worth doing that today. I don't think I'm really going to gain anything from doing that because, yeah, the interior is in very good condition. I mean, even the carpets themselves, they're in very good condition because it has these all-weather mats in, which I may be keeping for the BMW 1 Series. I'm not too sure yet, but yeah, they have kept the interior in very nice condition. Here's just a quick look at the wheels. They should clean up quite nicely, but it is the engine bay that for sure needs a lot of attention. Just look closely how filthy this engine bay is. Like I said, I don't think this has ever been cleaned before. The only thing that is clean in here is the new expansion tank that we've installed, but yeah, everything else is just covered in oil, grease, dust and general filth. It honestly makes a big difference when you have a clean engine bay. Yeah, this should come up quite nice, to be honest. I'll more than likely I'll probably keep the main engine cover in place because I don't want to get the rocker cover wet or anything like that, but I'll more than likely will remove the scuttle panel, the cabin air filter box and that, just so I can get behind everything and yeah, make sure that everything is as clean as possible. But yeah, I think this will be a good place to start, to be honest. So what I'll do is I'll use the pressure washer. Yes, I am going to use the pressure washer. Just give everything a rinse down just to remove any loose dirt, and then what I'll do is more than likely snow foam everything as well and then see where we're at. We may need to agitate it with a brush, but yeah, we'll see. Oh, and the under trays are already removed, which they are filthy. They will need cleaning up as well. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do then is remove the scuttle panel itself. So it should be held in by a bunch of 8mm screws. So these 4 at the back here. There'll be 2 more underneath these 2 covers. Let's lift these up. Now if we disconnect the hood latch sensor or bonnet latch sensor, just then clip that from the scuttle panel, and then the AUC sensor as well. Tuck that out of the way, and then it's just these wiring, I don't even know what you'd call it, wiring branch that just slides off. I think there is only one on here. Yeah, there's just one for the diesel, so this should now just lift up. Just unclip those little tabs. Yep. and this is supposed to come with it. There we are then. With that removed, we can access this entire area a bit better. As you can see, the engine cover itself is not even clipped in at the back, so we will sort that after we've cleaned everything. Let's have a quick look at the brake fluid while we're here, see how black it is. I've definitely seen worse, but that's way too dark. I'm just going to cover up the 2 air vents that go into the cabin. And that'll do. Now, if you like, you can cover up things like the alternator, the mass airflow sensor, but you know, do you need to? Probably not. I mean, unless you are completely directly spraying water into the sensor itself and into the alternator, chances are you should be fine. But if you want to be overly cautious, then you can go ahead and cover those up, or even better, just disconnect the battery. I mean, sometimes I do disconnect the battery, but other times I don't. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that I can clean this engine bay with a pressure washer without completely destroying the electrics. So yeah, let's just get cracking really. Okay, so I've gave the entire engine bay, including the underside of the bonnet, a good clean. I've got rid of all of the loose dirt. Now it's time to attack it with the snow foam, and then yeah, like I said, I may have to agitate some tough spots. I know this engine cover has quite a few oil stains on, so yeah, that's going to need some work. But yeah, looking tons better already. So yeah, let's get cracking with the snow foam anyway. That works now. That's one thing that I guess didn't work. The bonnet latch, it was just kind of stuck in one position, so you manually had to kind of scoop it out of the bracket at the bottom. But yeah, I guess it was just the spring that was full of dirt, but that's nice and clean now, so yeah, that works perfectly. Okay, so I've gave the engine bay a bit of a dry. I've also gave the engine cover a bit of a more thorough clean. As you can see, it looks much better now. I'm going to reinstall this first. Make sure it sits in the correct position this time. Yep, there we are. That's perfect. And the scuttle panel as well, that has been cleaned out, and also the seal where it meets with the bulkhead. So we'll just pop this back in. There we go. Also cleaned the cabin air filter box. The filter is a bit dirty, but I will be replacing this when I give the car a full service, so I'll just go ahead and reinstall this into the housing. This can go back in. And for the engine bay, that is just pretty much done. And how much nicer does it now look? And I imagine when it comes to working in here, it's going to be a much nicer place to be. Just knowing that you're not going to get covered in oil everything that you touch. And this latch now works as well. Okay, let's drop this down and continue with the rest of the car. Okay, first thing is first for the rest of the car, let's give it a good rinse again, just to get rid of any of the loose dirt, and then we'll go ahead and give it a snow foam. And with that done, we can now get started on the wheels. So I have some wheel cleaner here. Just completely cover the wheels. And I don't imagine that these are going to be very fun to clean because what are they, like 12, 14, 16 spoke? I imagine these are going to be a bit of a nightmare. But they look good, so it's worth it. Okay, so these have started to bleed out nicely after 5 minutes or so. Let's start cleaning. That's 3 down, 4 down, 28 million to go. These may be a pain to clean, but they are going to look so good once they are clean. Okay then, so this is with one pass of the wheel cleaner and then just a rinse off. Here's how we're looking much better, but they are not perfect by any means. They really could do with a refurbishment, but yeah, looking much better. That one's looking nice, hardly any damage to that one, and the other side as well. Yeah, looking much smarter. Now all I'm doing is going around the entire car just with some tar and bug remover, just to go in the usual places where tar and bugs like to live, and just let this sit for a few minutes. Now it's time for the 2 bucket method wash. Okay, so the car is now washed. Let's get it dry while we still have daylight. Okay, so the exterior is complete. This has came up very, very well. It's got plenty of shine to the paintwork, and bear in mind, you know, I haven't touched it with any polish or anything. But yeah, minimal damage on this paintwork. Like I said before, there is the odd scratch here and there, but no real dents or scuffs that I can see. Yeah, this is very, very good paintwork for its age. Gave the door shuts a good clean out as well. They came up very nice. A way that you can tell that the rear of the car has hardly ever been used is the condition of these sill plates. As you can see, virtually in immaculate condition. These tend to get scuffed up and corroded once, you know, the rear of the car is used a lot, but yeah, these are in very, very good condition. And the fronts, they do have the odd scuff, but they are actually in very good condition themselves. Now obviously I do want to do the interior. Now I don't need to go that far with the interior. I think it's literally just going to be a case of removing the mats, giving it a good vacuum out, and then giving everything a good wipe over, and then probably use some glass cleaner as well, and then that'll be the interior pretty much done. But I know it's hard to tell on camera, but it is getting very, very dark now. As you can see, the street lights are on, so I think what I'm going to do is call it a day and crack on with the interior first thing tomorrow. Okay then, so it is the next day now. A bit of an update. So we have taken the floor mats out. So these are the floor mats from the E90, and this was the boot liner, which it's not an official BMW boot liner, but it does keep the boot floor quite nice. Now what I've done also is remove the mats from the E87, and these are going to be going in here, and these rubberized all weather mats are going to be going into the E87. So yeah, going to kind of do a swap And yeah, we'll take a look inside the car, because I removed this Velcro from this seat here, and yeah, it's kind of worse than what I thought. So it does have a slight tear in it at the seam. So yeah, I'm thinking more than likely what we'll have to do is at least replace the driver's seat, because not only that, there is a bit of wear on the base as well, like a thread is sort of come out of its stitching. So yeah, at a later date we will more than likely replace this seat, because I really don't think it's worth repairing it for the price that you can probably pick up a replacement seat. So yeah, Velcro's off anyway, and for the time being we will try and clean this up as best as possible. And I haven't really shown in the boot area what it looks like at the moment, so if you are interested, this is what it looks like. Let's have a look under here. As you can see, no spare wheel, but looks like we do have some goodies in here. So what's that, just the original DVD for the navigation, tyre weld, toolkit. I don't think that's BMW factory, but I'll take that. What do we have here? Oh, these are the floor mat Velcro thingies, which may come in handy. Ice scraper, windscreen scraper, a book which I'm not going to open because it may have personal details in. Some more of those BMW floor mat holders. These are the official, you know, genuine BMW ones as well, which I'm guessing are not too cheap. What else we got? Dust caps for the wheels. Yeah, they'll come in handy. What is this then? Some sort of charger. And what's this, some vinyl wrap? No idea why you'd need red and orange vinyl wrap, but hey ho, might come in handy one day. And yeah, not really sure what the rest of this is. So yeah, well, we'll give this a good clean out. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is give the entire car just a good vacuum out, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so obviously I didn't plan on taking the seats out. Now I know I'm not going to take the front seats out, but it's always worth lifting up the rear bench, because although they don't look like they've ever been sat in, you can clearly see that they have, because yeah, just look at this mess behind here. And this is how much money we found, £4.30. The £2 is still in circulation, but these are the old £1 coins, so yeah, I don't think I'll be spending them anytime soon, but yeah, still good to see. I'm going to give all this a good vacuum then, and yeah, get this rear bench back in its place. Much better. Rear bench can go back in now. Okay, so the entire car has had a good vacuum now. So here is the boot area. Also gave this a good wipe out as well. Looking much more presentable now. It's the boot area complete. Here is the interior. As you can see, it's came up very, very nice. No stains on any of the carpets or anything like that. Door cards, they are in near perfect condition. This is the front. Again, the only real wear in the front is this driver's seat here. Let me just see if I can show you it again. That's on this side, isn't it? The split in the seat. I mean, this won't look half as bad once all this glue has been cleaned off, but yeah, this is what it looks like at the moment. Okay then, so it is in fact another new day. We did get stopped by the rain, but as you can see, we have a nice bit of beading going on with the car, which is good to see. But we're going to continue with the interior. Just going to give everything a good spray down with some multi-purpose cleaner, and we'll go from there and see what else needs attention. Okay, so aside from the floor mats, I think we are pretty much there with the car now. So we'll start in the boot area. As you saw, much nicer in here now. All that junk has gone from this compartment as well. In the rear of the car, immaculate back here, to be honest. Carpets, not a stain on them. This armrest and cup holders functioning as they should. And then in the front, it honestly came out very, very nice. Again, the carpet's not a stain on them. This passenger seat is in very good condition. The centre console is in very good condition. Nice and clean in there now. I know this is up, I believe it's a common problem, so we'll get into fixing that, and I believe there is a compartment missing out of there, so we'll look to source one of those just to kind of finish this off. But yeah, the dash is looking nice and clean now. Both the cup holders working as they should, which is quite rare on a BMW E90. And the steering wheel, it has came up a bit better than what it was. I did put some leather conditioner on here, but as you can see, it does still have a considerable amount of wear. Like I said, this car has covered 155,000 miles, so it is to be expected. So I may go ahead and get a new steering wheel for this thing, but yeah, it looks presentable now anyway. Here's the rest of the car then. So the door card, and the worst area probably of the car is this driver's seat. It doesn't look as bad as what it was. Did manage to get the majority of this glue on, but it's pretty stubborn, and to be honest, I don't think it's worth going, you know, all the way with this chair. I'll more than likely just replace it for a much better condition one. But yeah, everywhere is pretty much done now, even the pedals as well, they're nice and clean. So let's go ahead, get the mats cleaned up, and let's put them back in the car. So then with the mats now back in the car, I think we are pretty much there, and the car is now complete. Now I'm going to take you on a walk around the car, but I think we're going to start in the engine bay first. I think you would agree that this has made a huge difference cleaning in here. This was absolutely filthy before. It was covered in oil, grease, dust and whatever else, and it's just a much nicer place to work in now. Now there is still the under trays to install. I will install them at a later date once I'm pretty much done in the engine bay, but yeah, it's looking much better in here now. Let's drop the bonnet. Let's take a look at the rest of the car. So as I mentioned, the paintwork on this car is in very good condition for its age. It is a 13-year-old car, so there will be the odd scratch here and there, but as far as I can see, there really is no major damage, no real scrapes or dents or anything like that, and I'm pretty sure this is the original paint on the car. There's no obvious signs of this ever being resprayed in the past. The wheels, although they could do with a refurbishment ideally, and I'm still undecided whether or not to put these on the BMW 1 Series, but they've came up much better actually. They look a lot more presentable now. I did also give the exhaust a bit of a clean. Now I could be at this all day and, you know, get it real shiny, but you know, it is just a 2-litre diesel exhaust, so that does look much more presentable now. So yeah, that is the exterior. Now let's take one final look at the interior. So again, the boot area. I actually decided not to put that boot tray, boot liner back in, because I think it looks much nicer, much cleaner without the end, just with the original carpet. And yeah, there really is no real stains in here, so it's looking much more presentable now. I would quite like to change the boot struts themselves because they are the original and it doesn't quite pop up as it should. You kind of have to give it a helping hand, so I will more than likely replace these at some point. They're only cheap, so it's worth doing. That's the boot done. And again, in the rear of the car, of course, with the mats back in now, really does finish it off. I think it does actually look much cleaner with the carpet style mats opposed to the rubber style ones. But yeah, much nicer in here now. And again, in the front as well. So you've already seen the seats. Very nice, very nice. New mats in, looking much more presentable in here now. Sorted.
Okay then guys, so there we go. The cheap BMW E90 3 Series has had a good deep clean both inside and out, and I think you would agree that it looks so much better now. And I'm kind of in a position where I know sort of what the car needs, both mechanically and cosmetically. So yeah, I will be ordering a bunch of parts fairly soon. And that's another thing as well. I really don't know how far to go with this car. I mean, I could like spend a bunch of money on it, obviously make more content, but I really don't think if I spend a bunch of money on it, I don't think I'm going to add a ton of value to it. And this is a car that I do want to sell on at some point. I'll more than likely drive it for a little bit, but it definitely is a car that I do want to sell on and try and make a decent amount of profit, so I can take that profit and then move it on to a bigger and better project car. But yeah guys, if you do have any suggestions with regards to videos that you want me to do on this car, or you know, if you have any ideas for maintenance and you know, modifications, things like that, please do let me know it down in the comment section below. But yeah, I'm going to leave this one here. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Please give it a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace.